More than just a seasoning, salt, a seemingly ordinary crystalline mineral found in every kitchen, has played an extraordinary and often overlooked role in shaping human civilization. Far from being a mere culinary additive, this essential compound, once revered as white gold, influenced ancient economies, spurred trade, ignited conflicts, and even impacted human biology. Its journey from a vital necessity to its current ubiquitous status reveals a profound transformation in human perception and technological capability. This episode embarks on a journey through millennia, exploring how this simple mineral became a central player in the emergence and development of human culture. The shifting value of salt over time, from a commodity as precious as gold to an everyday item, is a remarkable paradox. Early historical accounts and economic practices demonstrate its immense worth, often equating it with precious metals. However, in contemporary society, salt is so common that it is often considered banal and ever-present. This dramatic revaluation of salt's worth is directly linked to advancements in its production. As innovations in extraction and processing, detailed in later sections, increased supply and reduced costs, salt transitioned from a rare and highly valued resource to a widely available commodity. This transformation illustrates a fundamental aspect of human technological progress: how ingenuity can convert a luxury into a staple, profoundly altering societal structures, economies, and daily life. It highlights that the perceived value of a resource is not inherent, but is dynamically shaped by its availability and the context of human need and technological capacity. Life's first seasoning and preservative, salt, chemically known as sodium chloride, is fundamentally important for life, serving as the source of essential dietary minerals, sodium and chlorine, contributing to one of the basic human tastes, saltiness. The human body requires a small amount of sodium, estimated at about 500 milligrams daily, for vital functions such as conducting nerve impulses, contracting and relaxing muscles, and maintaining the proper balance of water and minerals. The earliest archaeological evidence of salt processing dates back to approximately 6000 BCE in the region of present-day Romania. People of the Precutini culture at the Poiana Slatina archaeological site boiled salt-laden spring water in pottery vessels to extract salts through a process known as briquettage. A salt works in China, specifically at Shiqi Lake near Yuncheng in Shaanxi, dates to a similar period, at least 6000 BCE, making it one of the oldest verifiable salt works. These early discoveries were pivotal because salt provided critical methods of food preservation, including salting, brining, and pickling. This capability was vital for preserving meat, fish, and dairy products, allowing for food storage during times of abundance and ensuring survival during leaner months or periods of climate unpredictability. Beyond preservation, salt was also recognized as a ubiquitous food seasoning, uniformly improving the taste perception of food. Salt and the birth of civilization. The availability of salt proved pivotal to the growth and development of early civilizations. Archaeological findings suggest a direct correlation between salt production and societal advancement. For instance, Solnitsita in Bulgaria, considered by some to be the first city in Europe, functioned as a salt mine, supplying the Balkans with salt since 5400 BCE. Similarly, the commencement of salt production at the Poiana Slatina site in Romania appears to have directly correlated with the rapid growth of the Precutini society's population soon after production began. The historical record indicates that salt served as a catalyst for human hominization, facilitating the transition from nomadic hunter-gatherer societies to more settled, complex civilizations. Salt's primary early use in food preservation allowed for the storage of surplus food, which significantly reduced the immediate survival pressures that necessitated constant movement and foraging. This ability to store food led to increased population density and the establishment of more permanent communities. The stability provided by a reliable food supply, enabled by salt, fostered the emergence of specialized labor and the development of rudimentary trade networks. This, in turn, laid the groundwork for complex social structures and the eventual rise of urban centers, such as the salt mine city of Solnitsa. Salt, therefore, was not merely a commodity. It was an infrastructural element that underpinned the very foundation of early human societies, enabling population growth, stability, and the eventual rise of complex civilizations. This demonstrates how seemingly simple technological advancements, like salt extraction and preservation, can have cascading, transformative effects on human organization and cultural development. Even as early as 9000 BCE, there is evidence of a salt trade at Jericho, and it may have been used for barter in connection with the obsidian trade in Anatolia in the Neolithic era. The rise of a global commodity. As civilization expanded, salt rapidly ascended to become one of the world's primary trading commodities. Its immense value earned it the moniker white gold in some cultures, underscoring its economic significance. So valuable was salt that it functioned as a form of currency in various regions, with slabs of rock salt serving as coins in Abyssinia and south of the Sahara. The enduring legacy of salt's value is even embedded in language. The word salary is derived from the Latin term salarium, which referred to the payment made to Roman soldiers with salt. This practice solidified salt's status as a symbol of wealth and power, and it was also used to pay taxes or as a form of tribute in certain cultures, shaping trade routes and empires. The profound economic importance of salt spurred the creation of vast trade networks and specialized salt roads that crisscrossed Europe, Asia, and Africa. These routes facilitated the movement of salt, and by extension, goods, cultures, and technologies across continents. Key examples of these vital trade arteries include Mediterranean sea routes. Salt was transported by boat across the Mediterranean Sea via Salaria, ancient Rome. This ancient Roman road connected Rome with the Adriatic Sea, playing a crucial role in supplying salt to the Roman Empire. Trans-Saharan trade routes. Camel caravans traversed the Sahara Desert, carrying salt from North African salt-rich regions, such as the salt mines of Tagaza in modern-day Mali, to sub-Saharan Africa. Here, salt was exchanged for gold and other valuable commodities. This exchange was instrumental in the rise of powerful West African kingdoms, notably the Mali Empire, which flourished due to the wealth generated from this trade. The ancient Greek historian Herodotus described these salt trading routes across Libya as far back as the 5th century BCE. Salt rode from Salzburg to the Danube. This was a crucial trade route in medieval Europe. Salt's influence extended to the rise of significant economic powerhouses. Cities like Venice grew wealthy by strategically controlling salt trade routes in the Mediterranean. Similarly, the Hanseatic League, formidable alliance of trading cities in northern Europe, amassed its fortune by monopolizing the salt trade. In the first millennium BCE, Celtic communities also prospered by trading salt and salted meat to ancient Greece and Rome in exchange for wine and other luxuries. The Phoenicians, from about 2800 BCE, actively traded Egyptian salted fish and North African salt throughout their Mediterranean trade empire. Salt's role as a geopolitical tool and a determinant of regional power and wealth led to the rise and fall of cities and empires. The repeated association of salt control with power, wealth, and economic influence across various historical periods, as seen with Venice and the Hanseatic League, underscores its strategic importance. Salt was not only essential for food preservation, especially before the advent of refrigeration, making it vital for sustaining populations and armies over long distances, but it also served as a recognized form of currency. Civilizations that controlled salt sources could levy significant taxes, regulate food supplies, and fund military expansions or infrastructure projects, thereby accumulating wealth and increasing their political and economic leverage over other regions. This led directly to the rise of powerful city-states and empires, such as the Mali Empire and the Roman Empire. Conversely, dependence on external salt sources could render regions vulnerable. This illustrates how control over fundamental natural resources, even seemingly simple ones, has historically been a cornerstone of political power and economic dominance, demonstrating a deep connection between resource control, trade, and the geopolitical landscape. A seemingly mundane substance could thus become a strategic asset shaping the course of history. More than just a mineral, salt's profound importance transcended its practical applications, becoming deeply woven into cultural and religious practices across the globe. Its enduring nature and preservative qualities lent it powerful symbolic meanings. As a symbol of purity and protection, salt was widely used in rituals to ward off evil and purify spaces. It was commonly scattered at the doorways of homes to prevent negative influences from entering. and some protection rituals involve throwing salt over the shoulder after a bad omen. Mixed with water, it was used for ablutions aimed at purifying the body, reinforcing the belief in its protective power. Salt held a central place in numerous religious practices worldwide. It was incorporated into spiritual ceremonies for blessings and purification rites across various beliefs. Its incorruptibility made it a symbol of permanence and wisdom in many traditions. The ancient Hebrews, for instance, made a covenant of salt with God and sprinkled salt on their offerings to demonstrate their trust. Its consistent presence in these rituals underscores its universal spiritual significance. Beyond its sacred uses, salt also served as a powerful gesture of hospitality and alliance. Offering salt was, and in many cultures still is, a sign of respect and friendship. The act of sharing bread and salt strengthened bonds between individuals and symbolized a lasting alliance. It was sometimes given during wedding ceremonies as a token of prosperity and happiness. And in some countries, travelers were welcomed with salt, illustrating its significant social and symbolic role. In certain cultures, such as the Malagasy, salt is considered a bridge between the world of the living and that of the ancestors. It plays a role in rites of passage and funeral ceremonies, symbolizing continuity and the connection between past and future generations, with some rituals incorporating it to ensure a peaceful transition to the afterlife. Salt was also included among funeral offerings in ancient Egyptian tombs from the 3rd millennium BCE, alongside salted birds and fish. Taxation, conflict, and revolution. Salt's immense economic value made it an irresistible target for taxation and state monopolies, often leading to significant political unrest and even outright conflict. A prime historical example is the gabelle, an oppressive salt tax imposed in medieval France. This tax system was a major source of widespread discontent among the peasantry, and is considered a partial driver of the French Revolution, ultimately contributing to the fall of the monarchy. Control over salt sources and trade routes also sparked historical conflicts, aptly termed Salt War of 1304. A brief but bloody conflict between Venice and Padua over salt works resulted in Venice's victory and the confirmation of its salt monopoly. Another ancient practice in times of war was salting the earth, where salt was scattered around a defeated city to symbolically prevent plant growth. This act is recounted in the Bible with King Abimelech at Shechem, and famously, though likely apocryphally, attributed to the Roman general Scipio Aemilianus Africanus after the defeat of Carthage in 146 BCE. Perhaps one of the most iconic demonstrations of salt's political power was Mahatma Gandhi's Salt March in 1930. This act of civil disobedience was a direct protest against the British Salt Act, which prohibited Indians from collecting or selling salt and imposed heavy taxes, granting the British a monopoly. Gandhi recognized that salt, a daily necessity for all Indians, regardless of class or background, could serve as a unifying symbol against British oppression. His march to Dandi to produce salt by hand galvanized the Indian population, demonstrating the power of nonviolent resistance and ultimately contributing to India's fight for independence. Salt's capacity to embody both unity and oppression highlights its potent symbolic nature, demonstrating its ability to catalyze social cohesion or ignite widespread rebellion. Salt's universal necessity means it impacts every individual. When access to, or the cost of this fundamental commodity is controlled by a powerful entity through monopolies or heavy taxation, it transforms into a direct economic burden on the populace, leading to widespread discontent, as seen with the gabelle in France. Conversely, when this common burden affects all segments of society, it can become a unifying grievance, fostering collective action. Gandhi's Salt March exemplifies this, where salt's ubiquity allowed it to unite people of different classes and backgrounds in a shared struggle against an oppressive tax. This illustrates how fundamental resources, when controlled or manipulated by power structures, can become flashpoints for social and political change. Salt, in this context, serves as a powerful demonstration of the intricate dynamics between governance, economic policy, and popular resistance throughout history, underscoring that even the most basic commodities can carry immense symbolic weight and drive historical movements. Harnessing nature's gifts. The history of salt production is a testament to human resourcefulness and ingenuity. The earliest methods, dating back to around 6000 BCE, involved harnessing natural processes. In present-day Romania, early civilizations discovered they could extract salt by boiling salt-laden spring water in small pottery vessels. Simultaneously, in China, solar evaporation from lakes like Shiqi Lake near Yuncheng was employed to harvest salt. The Neolithic people of the Precutuni culture in Romania specifically utilized a technique known as briquettage for this extraction. As human societies developed, so did their methods of salt acquisition. Hallstatt in Austria became the site of the world's first known salt mine around 800 BCE, marking a significant shift from surface collection to underground extraction. By approximately 400 BCE, the inhabitants of Hallstatt transitioned to open-pan salt making, indicating an evolution in processing techniques. Additionally, salt pans were developed in Carthage, modern-day Tunisia, by the 9th century BCE. The Industrial Revolution and mass production. The Age of Exploration, 15th–17th century, marked a period of increased global demand for salt and the discovery of new sources, including previously untapped salt lakes and mines. This expansion led to a significant increase in global production and distribution. A notable development during this era was the discovery of saltpeter, salt compound that became crucial for gunpowder production in the 17th century, playing a role in conflicts such as the French Revolution. However, the most profound transformation in salt production occurred during the Industrial Revolution. 18th–19th century. This period represented a significant turning point. Traditional solar evaporation methods were gradually replaced by more efficient, large-scale techniques such as the pan process and the grainer process. These innovations dramatically increased the volume of salt that could be produced, making it considerably more affordable and accessible to the general population. This mass availability, in turn, made salt indispensable for the burgeoning food industry, facilitating the rise of canning, pickling, and the preservation of processed foods, which further fueled the growth of global trade. Modern era, purity and diversity. In the modern era, salt production employs a diverse array of sophisticated methods. These include extensive mining of rock salt deposits, commercial-scale evaporation of seawater, and advanced extraction using vacuum technology to create highly pure dried vacuum PDV salt. Contemporary processes are designed to achieve greater purity, resulting in fewer contaminants and impurities, which makes salt suitable for a vast array of industries beyond just food. The direct correlation between advancements in salt production technology and its shifting economic status, from a precious, scarce commodity to an affordable, ubiquitous staple, is clear. Early labor-intensive methods of boiling or simple evaporation limited the scale of production, contributing to salt's scarcity and its designation as white gold. The scarcity drove its high value, leading to its use as currency and a primary driver of ancient trade routes. However, the industrialization of salt extraction, with the introduction of efficient techniques like the pan and grainer processes, dramatically lowered production costs and significantly increased supply. This technological leap transformed salt from a luxury or strategic commodity into a common household and industrial staple. This also facilitated the growth of entirely new industries that relied on abundant and affordable salt, such as large-scale food processing and chemical manufacturing. This progression illustrates a classic economic principle: how technological advancements can democratize access to previously scarce resources, fundamentally altering their market value and societal role. The shift from a luxury to a staple is a powerful testament to human ingenuity in resource management and its cascading effects on global economies and daily life. Salt and human health, a double-edged sword. In the modern world, salt's role extends significantly into human health, presenting both essential benefits and considerable risks. Salt, or sodium chloride, is composed of approximately 40% sodium and 60% chloride. Sodium is vital for numerous biological functions. It conducts nerve impulses, facilitates muscle contraction and relaxation, and maintains the proper balance of water and minerals within the body. The human body requires an estimated 500 milligrams of sodium daily for these critical functions. However, excessive sodium intake poses significant health risks. High consumption is strongly linked to hypertension or high blood pressure, which is a leading cause of cardiovascular disease, CVD, and stroke. When too much sodium accumulates in the bloodstream, the body retains water to dilute it, increasing both the fluid surrounding cells and the overall blood volume. This forces the heart to work harder to pump blood, potentially damaging blood vessel walls and contributing to plaque buildup in arteries. Excess sodium has also been associated with kidney stones, and there are suggestions of links to osteoporosis and the overstimulation of the immune system, potentially contributing to autoimmune diseases like lupus and multiple sclerosis. Conversely, insufficient sodium levels, a condition known as hyponatremia, can also be dangerous. Symptoms can include dizziness, confusion, muscle twitches, seizures, and in severe cases, loss of consciousness, coma, or even death, especially if levels drop rapidly. Given these health implications, dietary recommendations for sodium intake are crucial. The American Heart Association advises a maximum daily intake of no more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium, or roughly 1 teaspoon of salt, with a preference for intake not exceeding 1,500 milligrams per day. Unfortunately, most Americans consume significantly more than these recommendations. It's largely due to the high salt content hidden in processed and packaged foods, which account for about 75% of average intake. A significant public health intervention related to salt was the introduction of iodized salt in the 1920s. This initiative aimed to combat iodine deficiency diseases, such as goiter, which were prevalent at the time. Diverse applications. The unseen industrial giant. Beyond its culinary and health aspects, salt's significance extends far into the industrial realm, making it an unseen giant in modern manufacturing and infrastructure. The hidden ubiquity of salt in modern life, extending far beyond the kitchen into almost every facet of industrial and daily existence, creates a dependency that is often unrecognized. While salt's culinary use is widely known, its industrial roles are less apparent to the average consumer. This hidden utility means that modern society is profoundly reliant on salt for its infrastructure, manufacturing, and even public safety. The sheer volume of salt required for these applications is immense, particularly in the chemical industry. This pervasive, often invisible, industrial use of salt means that modern society is deeply reliant on it for its infrastructure, manufacturing, and even public safety. This reliance stems from the fact that increased industrialization and technological complexity created a demand for versatile, abundant raw materials. Salt's unique chemical properties and relatively low cost make it an ideal component for numerous processes, leading to its widespread integration into manufacturing, infrastructure, and health systems. This has created a deep, often unseen societal dependency on salt. This highlights how a seemingly simple substance has become an indispensable foundational component of the modern industrial world. It underscores the interconnectedness of various industries in our daily lives with basic chemical commodities. This hidden dependency also raises important considerations about resource sustainability, potential supply chain vulnerabilities, and the environmental impact of large-scale salt extraction and use, particularly in applications like de-icing. The diverse applications of salt include chemical industry. This sector is one of the largest consumers of industrial salt. It serves as a primary raw material in the production of essential chemicals such as chlorine, caustic soda, and soda ash, which are crucial for manufacturing plastics, paper detergents and textiles, and hydrochloric acid. Water treatment. Salt is extensively used in water softening and purification processes. It helps eliminate calcium and magnesium ions responsible for water hardness, thereby preventing scale buildup in pipelines and machinery. De-icing and road maintenance. A well-known application. Salt lowers the freezing point of water, preventing ice formation on roads, highways, and airport runways, thus enhancing safety. Dead sea salt is sometimes used as a less corrosive and more environmentally friendly alternative. Agriculture and animal husbandry. Salt acts as a supplement in animal feed to promote proper nutrition and digestion for livestock, including cattle and poultry. It is also used in soil treatment to manage alkalinity and enhance crop yield. Textile and dyeing industry. Salt plays a crucial role by aiding in the dyeing process. helping to fix dyes to fabric fibers, ensuring even color distribution, and improving overall quality. Pharmaceuticals. Industrial salt is utilized as an excipient in drug formulations and is a key component in saline solutions for various medical treatments. Other applications: cleaning agent. Due to its abrasive texture and natural antiseptic properties, salt can be mixed with other ingredients to create effective natural cleaning agents for removing stains from various surfaces like pots, fabrics, countertops, carpets, and wood. Personal care. Salt is used in DIY exfoliator scrubs to remove dead skin cells and in saline solutions for oral and nasal hygiene, reducing bacterial growth and inflammation. Air quality. Salt lamps are used to improve air quality and provide a relaxing ambience. Therapeutic baths. Salt soaks or baths are used for detoxification and soothing tight muscles. Manufacturing. It is used in the production of soap and porcelain enamel and in metallurgical processes to encourage metals to fuse. Flavor enhancement. Monosodium glutamate, MSG, a type of salt, is used to enhance savory flavors in food. Other chemical compounds. Sodium nitrate is commonly used in the manufacturing of explosives and fertilizers. Conclusion: the enduring legacy of salt. The history of salt is a remarkable narrative, tracing its journey from a primordial necessity discovered by early humans to a global commodity, a symbol of power and protest, and finally, an indispensable component of modern industry and health. This trajectory serves as a microcosm for understanding the broader evolution of human civilization. From basic survival needs to complex industrial societies, each phase of salt's history mirrors a significant period in human development. Its early uses for food preservation laid the foundation for settled life and the emergence of the first cities. As societies grew, salt became a driver of complex economies and intersocietal connections through extensive trade routes. Its symbolic meaning evolved, becoming intertwined with cultural practices, religious ceremonies, and political conflicts, demonstrating how fundamental resources can shape power structures and inspire social resistance. The evolution of salt production methods, from ancient boiling pans to modern industrial powerhouses, reflects humanity's continuous technological progress and industrialization. Finally, its pervasive role in modern industry and health highlights the complexity of contemporary life and our scientific understanding of biology. Despite its commonness today, salt remains a cornerstone of human society. It's influencing economies, cultures, and daily life in ways often taken for granted. The continuous adaptation and expansion of salt's uses and production methods directly correlate with humanity's increasing complexity, technological prowess, and societal organization. Salt's story is a lens through which to view the entire arc of human hominization and civilization. It demonstrates how understanding the journey of a single fundamental commodity can offer profound insights into the grand narrative of human progress and our ongoing relationship with the natural world. Therefore, the next time salt is encountered, it is an opportunity to recognize the profound and multifaceted history contained within each crystal.